Hello and welcome to episode 79 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and I am coming to you from my home in the most easterly town of England in the UK, the bit that sticks out into the sea the most. And I live here with my husband, my 4-year-old daughter, my 1-year-old son, my very old cat and my 11-week-old puppy. 11-week-old puppy. And 10-week-old. 11-week-old puppy. 11. And he is not in here with me today. I know last episode, this is episode 79, yeah. Episode 78, he was sat on my lap. I am back to recording really late at night. This is going to be a quick one because I haven't got tons to say and I'm already saying lots of and nobody wants to hear that. I am knackered because I'm back from Perth Festival of Yarn this weekend where I vended. You can find me online as The Lonely Knitter. You can find my website either by going through thelonelyknitter.co.uk or .com or craftersbalm.co.uk. All of those will take you straight to my website. I have patterns under Lonely Knitter designs that you can find on Ravelry or on my own website. And I'm most active on Instagram, so if you want to say anything to me, you're probably most likely to get the fastest response over there. I will leave all my links below and all my information, and any other makers that I talk about this week, I will share their links below as well. Yeah, I just thought I would jump on and do a quick little video for you guys with all of what's been going on, because things aren't quietening down. I am in full throes of Advent making. Those are hopefully going to be posted by the end of this month. And I've just been to Perth, so it's now Wednesday. I got home on Monday. I left on the Thursday before, and it is... the journey is... it's about 240 miles, 220 miles to my auntie's house in North Yorkshire. So I went there on the Thursday and then the rest of the way on the Friday morning, which was another 250 miles, and then obviously did it in reverse after the show as well. So I'm so tired and it's been lots of late nights and lots of work. And then when I came home, we've had issues with my little girl not sleeping and having some bad dreams. And also the puppy still needs to get up at least once, sometimes twice, but at least once in the night for a wee. So I have to get up for that. Very tired. And not this weekend, but the next one, it's Yarndale and I'm vending at Yarndale. I'm so nervous. I'm really excited. I can't wait to go. Perth was amazing just to see so many friends, vendors and customers, attendees alike. It was just the best fun. And I stayed in an Airbnb with some other vendors and friends who are just lovely people, and they just made it for me completely. So I am going to just go through a last couple of bits of housekeeping and then I will show you what I've been working on, which is teeny tiny because I've been working on work, not actually getting a chance to knit. And then I will show you what I bought at Perth. I haven't got any finished objects. It's not that sort of podcast this week. It's very quick, very snappy and very not productive when it comes to me crafting. First thing I will say, I am wearing this gorgeous shawl that I cannot for the life of me remember the name of, but it was knit from my crushed cherry blossom colourway. Now my brain doesn't work, and it's not knit even, it's crochet. Oh my gosh, my brain really doesn't work. And it was crocheted by my lovely friend Ali as a sample for my shawl, as a shawl sample for my stall. There we go. And it's a really nice long scarf like one that goes into a little triangle and it is plucked out huge, and I still need to take pictures of it for Ali. And oh, I'm attached. Oh no, oh, it's all gone wrong. Yeah, I still need to take some pictures of it because I haven't yet, but I am really loving it, and I wore it all weekend at Perth, and then I'm still wearing it now I'm home. It's just because it's now cooling down a little bit. We had another little heat wave here, but it is now cooling down a little bit, and it is the perfect little add-on to wear. I will just address the elephant in the room right now. You may notice that my hair is a different colour. It's very dark. I had an incident with hair dye. I am not very good at hair dye, and I'd never bleached my hair until lockdown, when I decided I wanted purple hair because I'm cool. So I bleached my hair and then dyed it purple. All the purple had gone, and I was sort of over the purple, and also anything that requires maintenance on myself I am very lax with. That's probably too much information. Let's just say maintenance on my hair. Yeah, so it was my normal roots, which is pretty much that colour, because I didn't really put any on my roots, but it's a dark brown, but it's not this dark. Was to about here, and then it started to like fade into reddy orange, and all the way through to almost sometimes a bit of blonde. Like it was light brown, but it just looked very multicoloured hair. So I thought, before Perth, I will dye all my hair back to its natural colour. My hair, I'd say, is sort of darkish brown, so I went for a medium brown. I only put it on from there down, but then obviously I did bunch my hair up, so it would have got onto the roots. And I said to leave it on for 35 minutes, and I left it on for 20. And it was almost black. In this light, you can see that it is brown. But, yeah, I'm not going to lie. Once it dried, I looked at it and I was like, this is not 20 minutes of medium brown. And then many people gave me a lesson on how bleach works and what happens with hair, etc, etc. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. So yeah, it's very dark. I'm okay with it. I like it more than the crazy what was going on before, but yes, my hair is very dark. I am not very good at hair dye. Anyway, so what have I been working on? Oh no, there was one little bit more tiny thing, housekeeping thing. I'm just going to breeze over it really quickly because it's making me feel really awkward. But basically, a while ago I started Patreon with the idea in mind that I would hopefully cover the costs of the podcast. It does take time to record. Back then I was editing a lot more. I haven't needed to edit it loads recently. And I personally don't have an awful lot of time, but I also am having issues with my software and with space on my phone, because I'm having to do a lot of it on my phone. I don't have a computer, I don't have a laptop. I am working completely from mobile devices. I would like to rectify that at some point, but until then I'm not really sure how I can manage with editing again. So I used to have a Patreon, and it really helped cover the cost of the podcast, and it actually enabled me to buy the lights that I have in here now and things like that, and it was brilliant. But when I set up Patreon, I really wanted to provide quite a lot of extra content, and I was only able to provide like a tiny bit more. It was really, I don't have the time because I have one child at home full time, apart from now 1 day a week I get of childcare. So yeah, the other one has gone to school, but until the little one goes to nursery, I don't have a lot of time. I'm trying to work on my business. I work on that in every spare second to make my ends meet, and that's great, and I love it, and I'm so grateful that I have the chance to do that. I'm not complaining about that. But in terms of Patreon and being able to offer extra content, it just wasn't working out. I didn't have that extra time, and I felt bad, so I closed it down. And I hadn't charged anyone for a while. I'd kept like knocking it off so it didn't charge people, because it just, I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. And then it just got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to close this down because I'm not going to have the time for at least another 1.5 years. And I was talking to some friends at the weekend, one who has a podcast, and they were recommending setting up a Kofi. Kofi, it's spelled with a K, which is just basically where you can go on, and if you choose to, you can choose to do a monthly donation like with Patreon, or you can just do one-off donations if you fancy it, if you'd like to help support the podcast. So I had a lot of supporters over on Patreon. I was incredibly grateful, very thankful, thank you so much. But the reason I set the Patreon up was for the extra content to help support the podcast, and I couldn't do that. So that is why I closed it down. After I closed it down, I did have messages from a few absolutely wonderful supporters saying that they didn't mind that I wasn't doing the extra content and that they were supporting it because they enjoyed watching the podcast. And I'm so grateful for that as well. Thank you. So maybe if this is something that you would like to support, if you'd like to help me to continue bringing content, and also it'll enable me to give out a few more giveaways, because I'll be able to afford to have giveaway items, buy them or make them, and then it will help me cover the postage for giveaways. But also, if I can, I'd like to put some money into equipment and software for the podcast so that I can up my game just a little bit. And the first thing would be I'm trying to save up for a laptop. So, all that to say, as awkward as it is, I have set up a Kofi account. I will put the link below. It'll be on my Instagram links. And if you fancy it, there's absolutely no pressure. This main podcast will always be free to YouTube. If you don't want to pay for it, it's there. It's not a requirement that you go through Kofi or anything like that at all. But it'll help me justify setting time aside for it, and it will help me to make it a little bit better and bring more to you guys if you would like to support it. So no pressure. I'm putting it out there. I feel so awkward. I can peel my skin off. It's so awkward. That's a horrible thing to say. Peel my skin off. Where did that even come from? Brilliant. I'm going to put that on the internet. Fabulous. Anyway. Orcs. Oh, that's the awkward bit out of the way. Let's move on to the knitting. I got a really dry mouth. I only have a tiny whip to show you. This is some of my self-striping. I have various self-striping colourways, and I've been making some samples to go with them because they were in, I think I've got them quite close actually. They're in skein form rather than ball, and a few people said to me this weekend you should make them into gobstopper balls. That takes quite a lot more time. But I was also pointed out to me that I am kind of below market value when it comes to self-striping. My self-striping was up at £20 for 100 grams skein, and friends who wind them into gobstopper balls are sort of in the more like £24 mark, and they are an awful lot of work. So if I start winding them into gobstopper balls, I will definitely put them up to 24, and yeah, so there will be a price rise. But I was loving knitting up this sample. I just don't think you can tell from this. It just looks like reskeined variegated yarn. Doesn't look like anything special, but then when you have a sample you can really see. And this one is my Witch's Brew colourway. But yeah, so I might start caking them up into gobstopper balls. And all I've been doing with these is making a little 64 stitch tube, a bit of rib at the top, and then bringing it down until it's had a few repeats of the stripes, and then Kitchener stitching the bottom so it's like a little pocket, and that way I can tuck inside the recipes when they're sat at home. It's easy for me to grab the one I want to make and have the recipes inside. But also then I thought when I'm done with them, I could have them on stalls as samples, but when I'm done with them I could string them all up. That's like an advent calendar for the kids. Lots of little pockets. I thought that would be quite cute on all different stripes. So yeah, I am working on this one. I finished my others, but they are over there, too far away, and I can't reach them, and this is the quick episode, so that is the only thing that I'm going to show you for whip. Oh, I do kind of have a finished object, but it's not really because it's part of a bigger project. I have knit a tiny pumpkin. This is from the Susan B. Anderson Fall Harvest Charm Set. I have had that since whenever it came out last year. I can't remember. It might have been longer than that. I think I knit some pumpkins for my wedding. If that was her pattern back then, and that's a good few years ago now. Anyway, so I wanted to make a little autumn set of yarns to make my own set of these. So I dyed up these set of 4 mini skeins and they're coming with me to Yarndale. They have been in the shop for a little while, but everything's down at the moment to go to Yarndale. And yeah, just a little 4 set of autumn mini skeins, and then I am making the fall harvest charm set. So there's leaves, acorns, pumpkins and pine cones. I haven't made a pine cone and I'm not sure I will, because I feel like I wouldn't enjoy that as much, and the pumpkin's the thing I like the most. And the acorn is very cute too. I have the rest of the set up there, but I this is the only one I did actually this week. But I'm going to see if I how many I can get from one set of 4 mini skeins. Sit them on my stall at Yarndale and then put them all into a garland to have around the house for autumn, because it's my favourite time of the year. I love it when it's not so hot. I'm a sweaty mess. Oh, it's all gone wrong. I'm so tired. Okay, so I do kind of have a finished object, except not really, because I haven't finished the whole set. And we are moving swiftly on to what I bought at Perth. So, Perth Festival of Yarn in Scotland. I went, and there were so many wonderful friends there. I was very restrained, mainly because it cost me quite a lot of money to go all that way and everything. So if I spent every penny that I had, I would be screwed. The first thing I got, because there was no way I wanted to miss it, was a patch I've bagged a Socan Joe. My lovely friend Jo, oh, I adore her. I didn't buy this weekend. I've had this for a while. I bought it in the festival shop, but I was sporting this bag this weekend. My lovely friend Jo makes bags. She, I believe, has her website up now. I'm not 100%, but you can find her on Instagram, SewCanJo, and she is just one of the loveliest human beings you'll ever meet. This is the Perth Festival of Yarn sheep on the Perth Festival of Yarn colour, and I have a few of her bags. Some bought, mostly gifted, because she is the sweetest human being in the world. But when I saw she had her patches, there was just no way I couldn't have one of Jo's patches. So I grabbed one of those. And then the next thing I bought, I don't have here to show you because it's actually inside on the draining board because I have washed it up. I bought a little stitch marker dish from Emily Cross Ceramics, and it's beautiful. It has little beads all over it. I will make sure to show you at a later date. They have little feet and everything, so they sit really nicely, and then they have a little magnet underneath so that you can pop stitch markers in and they won't get lost. So I actually bought it at the beginning of the first day to keep tiny little chunks of hand balm in as samples, so that people could sanitize and I could give them a little sample of hand balm off of the stall, and that way everyone isn't touching the same bar or anything like that. So I don't have that to show you. The next thing I bought is this. This is a Woolly Originals bag, and I've kept the tag on. I kept the tag on because I was actually using the bag throughout the weekend, and I wanted to be able to tell anyone the details and like say, look, it's from them. But also because I wanted to remember the details for the podcast. I wanted a Woolly Originals bag back in 2019 when I went to Perth Festival of Yarn as a customer, and I didn't get one because there were so many of my friends vending. It was such a wonderful experience. I didn't have an awful lot of money. I was not very long off going on maternity leave, and yeah, the month after that was when I was hospitalized for like 4 weeks with Alfie because of issues, and so it was just the one thing that didn't make it into my budget. But this year I got the small size of this one. So this is from Woolly Originals. It is the design, the Scott Monument pattern, based on the iconic Edinburgh Memorial to Sir Walter Scott, and the colours are Ginger Twist Studios Hocus Pocus. If it's Hocus Pocus, then you know I'm gonna want it. And Edinburgh Sunset, and the inside is Scottish linen. I am going to treasure this bag. It's really gorgeous linen on the inside, and then there's the Woolly Originals stamp, original products for crafters and artists. And yeah, it's obviously machine knitted pattern, work pattern with hand dyed yarn. It's got a lovely handle. It feels really sturdy. The handle's detachable. It's just something really special, and I thought I'm gonna get something really special from the show. So yeah, this is, and the fact that it's a Scottish design and Scottish lining for the linen, like, oh yeah, I just thought this has to be it. So I bought this, and that was my big treat to myself. And then I bought another bag. I had seen this fabric from Sew Yarnilicious up on Instagram and fallen in love, and then my friend and I think I even commented on one of her posts saying, oh, I need this fabric when I come to Perth. And then my friend Helen from Giddy Yarns, who I was staying at an Airbnb with, she bought one on the first day in this fabric. I think it might even have been the same bag. Was it the same bag, Helen? But that reminded me, I was like, oh, I wanted that fabric. So on the Sunday I went back and I bought myself the little sock sack, and it has a popper, little snap, and it's a perfect little wrist sock sack. I was going to say sock snack then. And pumpkins and witchiness and all things Halloween, and I love it. I just love it. It's a really, really cute pattern and sweet little bag. Okay, the last thing that I have is actually yarn. I was very restrained, but this is all the yarn I bought. I bought it from my lovely friend Helen, Giddy Yarns stall. I chose the Winnie the Pooh mini skeins. Oh, they're scrumptious. Oh, look at them. So yeah, I chose those because I'm still in a real mini kick. I just want to grow my minis. So I got the Winnie the Pooh minis, and then those are, my phone's going low battery. They are 520 gram minis, and then this one is 510 gram minis, so half the amount, and these ones are the scrappy box colours. Oh, but that purple. Oh, but that pink. Oh, but all of them. So yeah, this was the yarn I came back from festival with. I was very restrained. So yeah, that is everything, I think, that I was going to talk to you about. I was just going to show you my little haul. I have pins and needles. I am wearing a boring black top, but as usual I am sporting, I can't get my leg up there, there's no way. I'm sporting something odd. I have Back to the Future DeLorean leggings on, because I am a grown up. Yeah, so this next week is going to be some crazy dyeing for Yarndale and finishing up Advent stuff, and just in general trying to stop the puppy from chewing everything in my house into tiny little pieces. Don't worry, he's not allowed out here. He's not allowed near the yarn. That would be awful. He has stolen some of my yarn during project and mangled it straight away. But there we go. He will grow. He will be a nicer dog soon, right? I'm gonna go. It was just a quick chat today. Really out of format, out of everything, but I just wanted to come on and say hi, because with all the prep for Yarndale and then all the prep that was happening for Perth, I felt like I went a little bit AWOL, and I'm actually really enjoying being back to podcasting, and I don't want to go AWOL. So I'm going to go inside, get a little bit more work done before bed. It's just gone 9 o'clock, and I'm going to try and get in bed for 11. Ready for my 2 a.m, 3 a.m. wake up when Frank wants a wee. Okay, I'm going to go, but thank you so much if you've got through my ramblings this week. Sorry it was so disjointed and random and unorganised without an awful lot of knitting as well. But I hope wherever you are, you're having a fabulous knitting time and getting some more work done than I am. But as always, thank you so much for making me so much less of a lonely knitter.